Hi all, welcome back to IGNOU MBA. Today, let's see the terminal examination of MMPC-009, December 2022. That is Management of Machines and Materials. We have seen June 2022 paper just before, okay? So now let's discuss this question paper, each and every questions one by one, okay? The first question is, product selection is an ongoing process in any organization. Define product selection. Also explain the product selection process. So in this question, it is consisting of two questions, right? First one is define product selection, and then what we have to do? We have to explain the product selection process. Okay, so this question comes from Unit 2, Product Selection and Process Selection. In this unit, we can see the product selection process and what is product selection. All those things are given here in this unit. Okay, so let's get into the notes. What product selection actually is. It is a strategic decision. It consists of like what product is to be produced, like what are the features of the product and how many number of products need to be produced. So all these kind of things comes under product selection. Okay, so product selection decides like the quality and the quantity of the manpower, also the capital requirement and the choice of process that is used for the production of materials. Okay, so what products to produce and in what form and with what features. These are the important aspects regarding a product selection. Okay, so let's see the product selection process, including what all things that includes. The first one is market analysis. For doing a product selection process, the first and the foremost thing what we does is understanding the market conditions and the consumer needs. What are the consumer needs? By understanding those needs, we select which product is better for fulfilling that consumer need. So we have to conduct market research, we have to analyze the competitors' products, and we have to identify the gaps. Okay, after doing all these things, we can define the objective. Okay, so we can clearly define the overall objective and the product related goals. And after defining this objective, we will get a product idea. Okay, to generate a pool of potential product ideas that aligns with the present market need or the consumer needs. Okay, so after that, what we does is product development and testing. In this stage, we develop the product according to the market need, and then we test that product with the target audience. After testing it, we are conducting analysis that is called business analysis, which include cost estimates and revenue, like how much was the cost for the production of a specific product, how much was the revenue that was gained from this production. All this kind of analysis are done in business analysis. And then market testing. In this phase, we introduce the product to a limited market segment for real world testing. After that, what we do is commercialization. In this, we launch the product to a broader market where we use different marketing distribution strategies. Okay, after commercialization, we do the monitoring and evaluation of the product. We continuously monitor the performance, and we adapt the strategies based on the feedback we get from the consumers. Okay, and then the last one is product lifecycle management. We manage the product throughout its life cycle, like from selecting which product is to be made and then till the end, like receiving feedback from the consumer. Throughout the life cycle, we have to consider the potential updates, the improvements or discontinuation based on whatever the market dynamics and changing consumer preferences. The next question is define the terms capacity and capacity planning. Explain in brief the process of capacity planning. Let's see in our text. In block 3, unit 9, capacity planning. In this unit, we can see the process for capacity planning. Okay, so what it is and the meaning, the definition, and how to measure the capacity, everything is given in this text. Okay, so what is a capacity? It is the limiting capability of a productive unit to produce within a stated time period, and this limiting capability depends on the intensiveness of use of productive unit. Let's see the note that I have prepared. So what do you mean by capacity? Firstly, we have to explain what is capacity, and then we have to define what is capacity planning. Okay, so capacity is the limiting capability of a productive unit to produce within a stated time period, and this limiting capability depends on the intensiveness of use of productive unit. And capacity planning is a process. In this process, we identify the capacity of a production unit that is required for meeting the current and future customer demands. Okay, so this process of capacity planning, it involves what are the steps that is involved in the process. The first one is the assessment of current capacity. What is the capacity at the present time? Like evaluating the existing capacity of facilities, processes and human resources. How many human resources or what are the processes or facilities that the organization has. All these things, the capacity of all those things are being assessed in the first step. By understanding the current utilization level, we can identify any bottlenecks or constraints. Okay, after identifying them, we do the demand forecasting. We use the historical data of the organization, and then we predict the market trends, what will happen in the future, and then we take the relevant factors for future forecasting demands. Then we consider the seasonal variation, the market growth and the various changes in the customer preferences. After doing the demand forecasting, we do the gap analysis. We have to compare the forecasted demand with the current capacity that the organization possesses. So by identifying the gaps between the projected demand and existing capacity, we can do the analysis. After analyzing, we have to identify if there is a need of any alternatives. So we explore various alternatives to address the capacity gaps. By considering the options such as expanding existing facilities or upgrading the equipments, outsourcing or improving efficiency, we do the identification of alternatives. And then what we do is to identify the resource needs. Determine the resources. The resources means a human resource, a technological or financial, all those resources we have to determine, like how much is required to expand or enhance the capacity. So to assess the feasibility of acquiring additional resources. If we need any additional resources, we identify the need for resources in this stage. Okay, and then comes strategic decision making. Strategic decision regarding the capacity expansion, technology upgrades, process improvement and so on are included in this stage. It considers the cost effectiveness and impact on overall efficiency. Then comes the implementation. Here we implement the capacity planning which we have chosen earlier. We implement here it in this stage. Okay, we train the staff, we acquire a new equipment and then modify process what are needed during this stage. After implementing the process or the system, we then does the monitoring and the adjustment. We continuously monitor the capacity utilization, performance and demand, and then we make the adjustment that are necessary of according to the changing marketing conditions or the technological advancements or the business condition. We make the adjustments accordingly. Okay, the next question is, a purchase requisition is the primary and authorization document describing the needed items, explaining view of the statement, the most common types of requisition forms. In Unit 9, Materials Management, we can see the topic Purchase Requisition. Okay, so what is a purchase requisition? It is the primary and authorization document that describes the needed items for an organization. The most of the organization, they have a standard requisition form for the use of all its departments. The most common types of requisition form, what we have asked here, what are the most common types of requisition form? They are the standard purchase requisition, traveling purchase requisition, and then bills of materials. So the standard purchase requisition form, this form is used for buying the materials that are required in an organization. The specimen of a standard materials requisition form is given in our text. You can refer it, like this specimen include what are the things this form include: the purchase order number, the shipping instruction, the delivery and the quantity, the delivery date and the quantity delivered. All these things are included in this requisition form. Also, we can see the traveling purchase requisition form here in our text. It includes what are the things that are that consist a requisition form. Okay, so let's see the notes that I prepared for it. So, a purchase requisition is the primary and authorization document that describes the needed items. It serves as the primary document that outlines the details of the items needed, the quantities required, the specification, and all other relevant information. Okay, so we can say that like a purchase requisition is typically the initial stage in the procurement process. What the organization need, what are the inventory or what are the materials an organization need for production or manufacturing or rendering services. For those things, we do the first and the foremost thing what we does is creating a purchase requisition form. So most of the organization now they have a standard requisition form for use of all its departments. Okay, so the format may change from organization to organization. Okay, so we have seen what are the different types of requisition form. The standard purchase requisition is used for routine and standard procurement needs. Okay, and here we request the common items that is regularly stocked or regularly purchased for our organization. Typically, it is initiated by the employees, department heads, or the project managers. For example, we can say like an office manager submitting a standard purchase requisition for office supplies like paper, pen, printer cartridges, all those things comes under standard purchase requisition. Then comes traveling purchase requisition. In this form, this kind of form is specifically or specially designed for items that is required during travel. Okay, so this form, what all things are included in this form? The list item that are needed for a business trip, like accommodation, transportation, daily expenses, all those things are included in this form. This type of form is often initiated by the employees who require approval for travel related expenses. For example, we can say that an employee submitting a traveling purchase requisition for airfare or hotel accommodation, such kind of things for business trip, all those things what we need a traveling purchase requisition form. Then comes the bills of materials requisition. Here, the main purpose of this requisition form that it is used in manufacturing and production environments. Okay, so it specifies the materials and the components that are needed to assemble a finished product as per the bills of materials. So, who authorizes this form? Typically, it is initiated by the production or the manufacturing department. Okay, for example, in an electronics manufacturing company, a bill of material requisition may detail the components like to assemble a specific model of a smartphone or including the quantity of each part. So what are the key points that we get from the purchase requisition? The key points are that purchase requisition serves as a primary document authorizing the procurement of goods and services. Okay, and the requisition process, it involves obtaining approval from relevant authorities before purchase are made. Then requisition forms provide detailed information regarding the items or the services that are required, and that helps in streamlining the procurement process. So requisition forms contribute to proper record keeping, ensures transparency and accountability in the procurement cycle, and we can say that it also increases the efficiency of the organization. It enhances the efficiency and accuracy of the procurement process. So in summary, we can say that there are various types of requisition forms that depends upon the situation, right? For traveling, what we need is a traveling requisition form. Well, yes, and for purchasing required or needed materials, what we use is the purchase requisition form, right? So each form serves as a crucial step in the procurement process, ensuring that the necessary items are acquired with proper authorization and documentation. Okay, so let's see the next question. Distinguish between mass and batch production. Under what conditions is batch production justified? This is a simple question. We have to distinguish what is mass and what is batch production, and then we have to give the advantages of the batch production. Okay. In Unit 1, Operations Management and Overview and Facilities Planning. In this unit, we can see the different production systems like the mass production, batch production, job shop production, unit manufacturing, and all those kind of production system. So the question asked here is differentiate between mass and batch production. So let's see. For the ease of understanding, I have made the answer in a tabular form. Okay. So let's see the volume of production. Here in mass production, there is high volume of identical products. And what about batch production? The volume is moderate to high volume. Okay, and the production flow here in mass production, it is continuous and linear production flow, while in batch production it is done in it is done with batches, so it is not continuous. The products are produced in discrete batches. The setup time, longer setup time for initial production runs, and in the batch production the setup time is required for each batch, but it is generally shorter than in mass production. And when talking about flexibility, here in mass production the flexibility is very low. Specialized equipment is often required. Okay, and talking about in batch production, it is more flexible and it can accommodate changes in product specifications between the batches. So cost per unit, here in mass production the cost per unit is low due to the economies of scale, because a large scale production is done in mass production, right? So the cost per unit will be lower. But here in the case of batch production, the cost per unit will be higher, because the production takes place in smaller production volumes. That's why. And when we talk about the product customization, limited customization or standardization is the key here. And while in mass production, it allows product customization within each batch. Okay, then talking about the efficiency and the examples, all those things. Okay, so under what conditions we can justify the batch production? Here we can give the advantages of the batch production. We can say that variability in demand. When demand for a product is variable, or when it keeps on changing, then batch production allows for adjustment in production quantities. Okay, also when there is a need for customization, what we can do is when products needs customization, batch production provides the flexibility to accommodate different specifications within each batch. Okay, when we talk about the limited resources, the batch production, the resources that are needed are limited or expensive, and the production volume doesn't justify continuous operation. Okay, also we can say that the product complexity. For complex products that require frequent changes or designs or specification, batch production is the best process. Okay, while when we talk about the product life cycle, during the introduction or the decline phases of a product's life cycle, when demand may not justify continuous mass production. And quality control. Stringent quality control is necessary here in batch production. It allows you through inspection and testing between each batches. Regulatory compliance. In industries with strict regulatory requirements, batch production allows for better control and documentation of each production run. Resource utilization. When there is a need to optimize the utilization of resources and to reduce the waste, especially in industries with perishable raw materials, we can use the batch production system. We have said earlier that flexibility is higher in batch productive system. So in summary, we can say that batch production is justified when there is a need for flexibility, customization, and adaptability to various demands. So the production volume doesn't justify continuous mass production. So it is a suitable approach in industries where product variations, regulatory requirements, or resource limitations play a significant role in product planning. The 11 questions comes is the codification is a process of representing each item by a group of numbers and alphabets, indicating the group, subgroup, type, dimensions of the item. Come and also explain the objectives of codification. So here in the question, we have to explain what is codification, and we have to say the objectives of codification. In unit 13, we can see codification, the explanation given in this unit. Okay, so codification, the definition accurately describes the codification as a systematic process. It means that codification is a fundamental for maintaining order, efficiency, and clarity. The codes that is used for identifying the various product, depending upon the groups or the subgroup type, all this kind of things comes under codification. To identify the items correctly or logically for processing the transaction, codification system helps in a greater extent. So what are the objectives of codification? It helps in accurate and logical identification. With the help of codification, we can uniquely identify each item accurately. Also, it facilitates precise identification, minimizing errors in procurement and inventory management. It also prevents duplication. It avoids duplicate entries and redundancies in the inventory. It ensures that each item is represented by a unique code, preventing confusion and overstocking. Okay, and then comes the standardization and reduction in varieties. promote standardization of items and reduce unnecessary variations. It streamlines the procurement inventory processes that leads to cost savings and operational efficiency. We can also say that it helps in efficient purchasing. It facilitates streamlined and efficient purchasing process. It also helps in creating standardized purchase orders, comparing suppliers and negotiating better terms. Then we can say that it helps in efficient recording and accounting of the products. Because while codification, we give codes for each and every product in an organization. So it helps in recording and accounting of inventory of each of the items that the organization, that the company possesses. So it enhances the accuracy in financial reporting as well as in inventory valuation and cost tracking. So it helps you to easily locate, index and inspect the product. It helps in locating the items. So it speeds up the retrieval. It reduces the search time. When we have code for each item, we don't need to see each and every product, which product is where it is kept and all those things. If we know the codes for each and every product, then that helps to reduce the search time. It also facilitates quality control inspections. Easy computerization. We can say that a codification enables seamless integration with computerized system. It helps in enhancing the efficiency of inventory management. Whenever you hear about codification, just think about inventory management, okay? So we can say that codification with this objective in mind, it can transform the inventory management process into a systematic and well-organized system, and that it plays a vital role in improving the overall efficiency, the operational efficiency, by reducing the cost and ensuring accurate and timely decision making related to inventory and materials. So when you hear about the question codification, think about the word inventory management process, okay? And then write the answer accordingly, okay? The next one is, what do you understand by the term facility location? When does a location decision arise? In Unit 3, facilities location, we can see the topic, when does a location decision arise, here in our text. Okay, so just go through that topic here in the text and then come back to this note, what is given here. Facility location, that refers to a strategic decision making for determining the geographical location that is needed for starting a new facility or relocation of an existing facilities. So this decision involves evaluating various factors that identify the most suitable location which aligns with the organization objectives and the requirements and the overall business strategy. So the goal of facility location, we can say that it is to find a position that minimizes the cost, that which maximizes efficiency and supports the organization's long-term success. Okay, so when does a location decision arise? When there is a need for establishment of a new facility, when an organization need to expand its operation, or when it decide to build new production plan, what it needs, it need to decide on a location. Okay, and when the organization is looking up for an expansion, the company, what it does, it determines the most strategic location for reaching its target customers efficiently. It also helps in cost reduction, efficiency improvement, and then it helps in changing the customer according to the customer demand. Organization can shift the demographics, or it can change the demand according to the demand patterns. It can relocate the facilities that are closer to the target market. Then comes the globalization, supply chain optimization, all those things. Just go through these notes. Technology and innovation, government regulation, all these things. When there is a need of all these things, we can think about location facilities. Okay, when there is a need of, when we see the advancement in technology, or when there is a change in production methods, then if there is a need of relocation, for that, taking advantage of such capabilities, then what we does is changing the location. And also when comes the government regulation, then what we does, it is better to find a better location decision. Okay, so risk mitigation, considering a natural disaster risk or political stability, other environment factors, it also lead organization to reconsider the facility location to reduce those risks and enhance resilience. Sometimes under competitive pressures, companies, they are compelled to to change the location. Okay, so to stay competitive or to reduce the cost or to improve the customer service, sometimes companies assess the facility location. So in essence, we can say that a location decision arises whenever an organization faces a significant change in its operational requirements or a business strategy, or the external factors like we have said, the government regulations or the competitive pressures, all those things. Okay, now let's see the short notes what's given here. Job shop production system. Job shop production system is a system of production when we produce the product in small batches, or depending upon the customer demands, we produce the product. Okay, so here in a job shop production process system, it is characterized by the flexibility and the adaptability that allows the facility to handle a wide variety of products varying specification. So this type of production system is well suited for industries where the production volume is relatively low. Okay, and when the product requires unique configuration, job shop production system is the best production system that the company can adopt. Okay, so here the workers need to be very skilled, and flexible machinery are necessary in this kind of system. Okay, so job shop offers high customization and flexibility. They also faces challenges like longer lead times, higher cost, and the need for efficient scheduling to optimize production efficiency. Okay, next short note is automation and robotics. We all know what is automation, right? Automation means it involves the use of technology that helps to perform the task without human intervention. Okay, so this kind of automation that it will increase the accuracy, speed in manufacturing, logistics, or in other kind of sectors. Robotics, on the other hand, what does it does? It is the use of robot to perform tasks in various environments. Okay, so industrial robots are widely used in manufacturing, assembling, and material handling process. These robots, they are equipped with sensors and control system that enable them to execute the task and consistency. Okay, so together this automation and robotics not only streamline production, but it also helps to contribute to workplace safety, as robot can handle the most hazardous or repetitive task. Okay, next comes the wastivity and productivity. Waste, we all know what is waste. Waste can indirectly serve as a good measure of productivity. Why it is said so? Because productivity of any system has been defined as a ratio of the desired output to input. Whenever the most of the productivity measures at present compared to the total output of individual input like labor, material, energy, capital. So we can say that the concept of wastivity had been propounded, which can serve as an adequate measure of performance of any system and is rather easy to measure. So both productivity and wastivity, they both are complementary to each other, which bears in it inherent cause and effect phenomena. So if the cause wastivity is checked, the effect productivity will automatically be improved. So we can say that when we reduce the waste, the production we can increase the production level. So it has a relationship between the wastivity and the productivity. Okay, next comes vendor evaluation and rating. What is vendor evaluation? Yes, it is to determine the effectiveness and the reliability of each vendor, that if they are meeting the organization requirements or standards. Vendors means the suppliers. Okay, the suppliers or the vendors. So vendor evaluation, it helps in making informed decision. By rating these vendors, organization can make informed decision regarding the supplier relationship, identifying their higher performing partners, and all those kind of things. Okay, so that comes the end of this term and examination paper. Hope you find it useful. Okay, please study these questions very well, because in IGNOU we can see they always ask repetitive previous year question paper for the upcoming term and examination. So just go through these notes and keep in mind the points that we have discussed for each and every questions. Okay, so share it with your friends and subscribe for more videos for IGNOU MBA. So thank you and keep watching.